Did you know that Florida is home to a river that flows backwards? Or that there's a castle built entirely by one man using only hand tools? How about the fact that the state has an underwater hotel? Well, Florida is packed with insane facts like this, and we're about to reel off 50 of them. While some seem too bizarre to be true, trust us, they are 100% real. Fact 50. Largest spring system. Crystal Springs pumps out 600 million gallons of crystal clear water daily, creating the perfect 72-degree Fahrenheit winter refuge for over 400 West Indian manatees. It's wild that a state famous for beaches has an underground river system more powerful than most surface rivers. Fact 49. Coral Castle Mystery. Edward Leeds Calnan single-handedly moved 1,100 tons of coral rock using only hand tools. Nobody knows how this 100-pound man carved blocks weighing over 30 tons so perfectly that you can't slide a knife between them. Fact 48. Underwater Hotel. Jules Undersea Lodge sits 21 feet below the surface in Key Largo. Guests must scuba dive to enter this underwater paradise where schools of tropical fish swim past your bedroom windows. Fact 47. River of Grass. The Everglades is actually a 60-mile-wide river flowing south at 1 foot per day. Water takes an entire year to travel from Lake Okeechobee to Florida Bay in this slow-motion aquatic highway. Fact 46. Lightning Capital. Central Florida gets struck more than anywhere else in North America, with Tampa Bay seeing over 100 lightning strikes per square mile yearly. The air around lightning bolts reaches 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 times hotter than the sun's surface. Fact 45. Living Coral Reef Highway. The Florida Reef Tract stretches 360 miles along the Keys, supporting over 6,000 marine species. You can literally drive over this underwater rainbow on the Overseas Highway's 42 bridges. Fact 44. Fountain of Youth. St. Augustine houses the legendary Fountain of Youth, but the real magic is that it's America's oldest continuously inhabited European city, established in 1565, older than Jamestown by 42 years. Fact 43. Space Coast Launch Pad. Kennedy Space Center has launched every American astronaut into space. The vehicle assembly building is so huge it has its own weather patterns inside, and rockets accelerate from 0 to 17,500 miles per hour in just 8 minutes. Fact 42. Sawgrass Prairie Illusion. What looks like endless golden prairie is actually sawgrass growing in moving water. Step off the boardwalk and you'll sink into the hidden Everglades River flowing beneath this grassland mirage. Fact 41. Hurricane Champion. Florida has been hit by over 120 major hurricanes since 1851, more than any other state. The 1935 Labor Day hurricane holds the record for strongest winds at landfall, 185 miles per hour. Fact 40. Manatee Speed Limits. Boats must slow to idle speed in manatee zones to protect these 1,200-pound sea cows. During winter, hundreds gather in warm springs, creating the world's most adorable aquatic traffic jams. Fact 39. Alligator Population. Over 1.3 million American alligators call Florida home, roughly 1 gator for every 16 people. These living dinosaurs now inhabit every county, from golf courses to suburban retention ponds. Fact 38. Tax Haven Paradise. Florida residents pay 0 state income tax, making it one of only 7 states with this advantage. Combined with year-round sunshine, the state grows by 1,000 new residents daily. Fact 37. Underwater Ghost Town. The submerged town of Oviedo lies permanently underwater in one of Florida's lakes. Scuba divers can swim through abandoned streets where fish now live in kitchen windows. Fact 36. America's flattest state. Florida's highest point reaches just 345 feet above sea level at Britton Hill. The entire state's elevation range is shorter than most skyscrapers, making it flatter than a pancake. Fact 35. Sinkhole Central. Florida experiences more sinkholes than anywhere in America. The limestone foundation is riddled with caves that suddenly collapse, sometimes swallowing entire houses without warning. Fact 34. Python Invasion. Tens of thousands of Burmese pythons now terrorize the Everglades. These 20-foot, 200-pound former pets are eating their way through the ecosystem, swallowing deer and alligators whole. Fact 33. Climate Paradox. The Keys enjoy America's only tropical climate, while northern Florida experiences legitimate winters with occasional snow. You can experience Caribbean weather and temperate conditions on the same day. Fact 32. Theme Park Pioneer. Disney World covers 25,400 acres, roughly the size of San Francisco. When it opened in 1971, it transformed cattle ranches into Earth's most visited vacation destination. Fact 31. Ecosystem Diversity Hub. Florida contains incredible ecosystem variety from Everglades to coral reefs to underground springs. You can snorkel with manatees, explore caves, and watch prairie sunsets in one day. Fact 30. Overseas Highway Marvel. The highway to Key West required 42 bridges across 113 miles of ocean. The 7-mile bridge literally leaps across 7 miles of open water with no land in sight. Fact 29. Underwater Christ Statue. A 2,500-pound bronze Christ statue stands 25 feet underwater in Key Largo, surrounded by living coral that's grown around it for 60 years. It's like an underwater cathedral. Fact 28. Hidden Spring Caves. Thousands of freshwater springs maintain 72 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures with 200-foot visibility. Cave divers are still discovering new underwater passages extending miles beneath the state. Fact 27. Lightning Glass Art. When lightning hits Florida beaches, it creates fulgurites, twisted glass sculptures formed by 30,000 amp electrical discharges melting sand into natural artwork. Fact 26. Blue Hole Mysteries. Massive underwater sinkholes off the Keys plunge hundreds of feet into the seafloor. Divers can explore these underwater cathedrals decorated with ancient stalactites. Fact 25. Driest Swamp. Big Cypress National Preserve transforms from flooded swampland to walkable terrain seasonally. It's a swamp that regularly becomes a desert, confusing everyone's expectations. Fact 24. Tropical meets temperate. Florida is America's only collision zone where temperate and tropical ecosystems meet, creating unique hybrid environments and biodiversity hotspots found nowhere else. Fact 23. Aviation Birthplace. Miami hosted America's first scheduled airline service in 1914. The St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line launched the age of commercial aviation with flights across Tampa Bay. Fact 22. State Parks Paradise. Florida operates 175 state parks protecting over 800,000 acres, including the first underwater park and springs so clear you can see 200 feet underwater. Fact 21. Artificial Reef Champion. Florida has created more artificial reefs than any other state, deliberately sinking ships and planes that often become more vibrant with marine life than natural reefs. Fact 20. Underground River Highways. The Floridan aquifer contains trillions of gallons flowing through limestone caves. Water entering central Florida can take decades to surface at springs hundreds of miles away. Fact 19. Ancient coral exposed. Florida's limestone is actually fossilized coral reef from when the state was completely underwater. You can swim through the petrified remains of prehistoric coral gardens. Fact 18. UFO hotspot. Florida consistently ranks among top states for UFO sightings. The Gulf Breeze incidents brought international attention when hundreds reported structured craft with distinctive lighting. Fact 17. Prehistoric volcanism. Deep core samples reveal Florida experienced volcanic activity millions of years ago when it was part of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana before continental drift moved it. Fact 16. Saltwater intrusion battle. The Everglades acts as a freshwater dam preventing ocean saltwater from contaminating underground drinking water. Rising sea levels threaten this delicate balance. Fact 15. Devil's Den Mystery. This underground spring chamber can only be accessed through a narrow ceiling opening, creating an otherworldly 72-degree Fahrenheit swimming experience 54 feet underground with ancient fossils in the walls. Fact 14. Shipwreck Graveyard. Florida's waters contain over 5,000 documented shipwrecks, from Spanish treasure galleons to modern vessels. These underwater time capsules now serve as artificial reefs. Fact 13. Backward Flowing River. The St. Johns River actually flows backward during extreme weather, reversing direction when storm surge and rainfall create competing water masses. Fact 12. Art Deco Capital. Miami Beach houses the world's largest Art Deco collection with over 800 buildings. The pastel-colored South Beach district is like a 1930s time machine. Fact 11. America's oldest city. St. Augustine has been continuously inhabited since 1565, predating Jamestown and Plymouth Rock. The Castillo de San Marcos fortress still stands after 350 years. Fact 10. Motorcycle freedom. Florida is one of only 3 states where adult motorcyclists can ride without helmets, reflecting the state's philosophy of personal freedom and minimal regulation. Fact 9. Massive peninsula. Florida is larger than England and could fit Switzerland, Belgium, and the Netherlands inside its borders. The state stretches 447 miles from Georgia to Key West. Fact 8. Time zone trick. Florida's western panhandle operates on Central Time while the rest uses Eastern Time. You can drive within the state and gain an hour without crossing state lines. Fact 7. Venomous Snake Central. Florida hosts 6 venomous snake species, including eastern diamondbacks over 6 feet long with enough venom to kill a horse, and swimming water moccasins. Fact 6. Dry Tortugas Isolation. This remote paradise 70 miles west of Key West can only be reached by boat or seaplane. Historic Fort Jefferson sits like a brick castle rising from turquoise waters. Fact 5. Everglades Epic Scale. The River of Grass covers 4,000 square miles, larger than Connecticut, flowing 100 miles at 1 foot per day. This entire ecosystem depends on carefully managed seasonal water flow. Fact 4. 10,000 islands. This mangrove maze along southwest Florida creates a wilderness so intricate that experienced boaters still get lost in its constantly changing tidal channels. Fact 3. Citrus Empire. Florida produces over 70% of America's citrus fruits, generating $8 billion annually. Endless orange groves stretching to the horizon supply most of America's breakfast tables. Fact 2. Railroad to Paradise. Henry Flagler's 1912 railroad to Key West crossed 128 miles of ocean on bridges and causeways. After hurricanes destroyed it, the roadbeds became today's overseas highway. Fact 1. Underwater origins. The entire Florida peninsula was underwater for most of geological history. The state is essentially a massive fossil reef made from billions of ancient sea creatures that was recently lifted above sea level. Ancient shark teeth and coral fossils found inland prove that Orlando was once ocean floor. Want to discover mind-bending facts about another state? What about 50 insane facts about Hawaii you won't believe are true?